Hi everyone! Today we're going to make a very delicious Moroccan dish called couscous. It's made of very tiny grains of crushed durum wheat, or what we call semolina. This dish is traditionally served with a stew spoon on top. The stew is a combination of meat and vegetables. You can either use lamb, beef, or chicken, but today we're going to make it with some yummy lamb. So let's get started. First up, we're going to clean and peel off some vegetables, and in a large bowl I have my half of a cabbage cut into quarters. I just put it in cold water. I just like to keep my vegetables fresh, and I have about 3 carrots, 1 zucchini, 1 yellow squash, cilantro, parsley, and hot pepper. You also can add some turnip, eggplant, or sweet potatoes. And in a cooking pot, I put 1/4 of a cup of vegetable oil and 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. I turn my heat on medium, and I put about 2 cups of white chopped onion. I mix and I leave it cook for about 4 minutes. Here I add lamb meat with bone. You can replace it with boneless meat. I add salt, black pepper, ginger powder, and turmeric. I cover it and let it cook for a little bit. And let's move to our next step. To prepare our couscous, I'm using here about 2 cups, American cup, of couscous. As you see, I have the Treya. I get this brand from the Arabic stores. I add about 1 tablespoon of salt and about 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. I mix well. And here I'm going to add about 2 cups of cold water. Never use hot water. And I'm not going to mix. I'm just going to soak the couscous in the water, in about 2 cups of water, and let it set and dry for about 15 to 20 minutes. And the couscous absorbed all the water that I put earlier. I want to keep on mixing until I see that all the grains are kind of separated from each other, and I don't want to have any forming lumps there. As you see, it's very fine and looking nice. On the side, I boiled some water that I'm going to use to steam my couscous. Here I transfer the couscous into the steamer, and I'm going to let it cook for about 15 minutes. While my couscous is cooking, and this is going to be actually the first round for cooking the couscous. So while it's cooking, I go back to my meat, stir it a little bit, and add some hot water to it. And here I'm adding some tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, and I stir again. I'm gonna let it cook for a few minutes, then I will add some pre-soaked garbanzo beans. It's really optional. My kids like garbanzo beans, so I'm going to use some here. I'm gonna add about 2 cups of hot water and 1 cup of garbanzo, pre-soaked garbanzo beans, and I'm gonna cover my pot and let it cook for about an hour or so until my meat is done. While my meat is cooking, I'm going to go back to the couscous. After 15 minutes of steaming, I'm taking my couscous and putting it back into the same bowl that I was working with earlier. I add about 1 cup, half cup at a time. Every time I add half of a cup, I mix really well, because I don't want my couscous to be forming any lumps. Here I'm adding the other half of a cup and mixing again. I waited for about 10 to 15 minutes until my couscous cooled down a little bit, because actually now we're going to use another or steam it for the second round. So I put it back in the steamer and put it to steam or to cook again for another 15 minutes. While my couscous is cooking, here I'm checking on my meat, and here is what it looks like. You always have to have that kind of thick sauce. It's really good. If you see that you have a lot of water, that means probably you have put too much at the beginning. Here what I like is I always move my meat, because I don't like it to lose its flavor, especially at this step, because I'm going to add some hot water to cook my vegetables in, and that's the reason why I'm taking my meat aside and leave it until I want to use it, actually until I want to serve it with the couscous. Here I add my cabbage and some more water, just enough water where you're gonna be cooking your vegetables. I close my pot, cook the cabbage for about 5 to 8 minutes, because it takes longer actually than other vegetables. Then I add my carrots, pumpkin, yellow squash, zucchini, cilantro and parsley, and hot pepper. As I said earlier, you can add turnip, sweet potatoes, or eggplant. I cook the vegetables for about 15 to 20 minutes. I really don't want to cook it too long, because I don't want it to be breaking while I'm serving. The vegetables are ready, the couscous is ready, and here I'm going really to show you the way we serve it. In a serving plate, you pour your couscous and you try to make a little hole in the middle, and that's actually when you're meat to go. I warmed up my meat and I'm going to place it in the center. And of course I don't want to get rid of that yummy sauce, because always the meat sauce is delicious. I carefully take vegetables out of the sauce and place them on top of the couscous around the meat and in different spots. Like that, every person will have a different or a variety of vegetables in front of them. I started with yellow squash, and I'm adding some cabbage, parsley and cilantro, zucchini, and I'm adding some pumpkin and carrots. I want to serve it nicely, and as I said, each person will have a variety of those vegetables in front of them when they want to serve themselves. At the end, I put my hot pepper and decorate my couscous with the garbanzo beans. If you don't like hot food, please always remove your hot pepper at the beginning before you start serving your couscous. Put it in a separate bowl so it won't pop inside your sauce and make it too spicy. As you see here, I'm only adding a few scoops, 2 to 3 scoops on the very top of the couscous, and I'm gonna leave the rest for whoever wants to add more to their plate. Et voila, the couscous is ready. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and try this amazing recipe. Please like and subscribe and leave me comments, of course, if you have any questions, and I'll be back with you with another new recipe.